presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Despite a lull in the Tigers' bats since the All-Star break, there's still plenty of firepower in the middle of that lineup. A former batting champ, a Triple Crown candidate, and a potential Rookie of the Year. Look for a turnaround beginning tonight. It is a beautiful night for baseball here in the Motor City. As we check the standings in the American League Central Division, Chicago with a 3-game lead over Minnesota. The Twins a winner earlier today, and the Tigers come in 3.5 back. Welcome to Comerica Park. We've got the final game in this series featuring the Texas Rangers and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, glad to have you with us for the final game of the series. Tigers still looking for a win in the second half. And at the start of this series, Ron, we built it as a really good series featuring two great players, Cabrera and Hamilton, and neither one is disappointed.
Well, you talk about a couple of 747s. They allow you to get in and just kind of ride them for a real smooth ride. And they hasn't disappointed. They're as good as advertised. Cabrera 5 for 10 with a couple of home runs. Hamilton got off to a terrible start this year, but he's leading the American League in hitting. He is 7 for 10 in this series, so a couple of real big bats in the middle of both of these batting orders.
All right, now if there was ever a night this year the Tigers needed a terrific pitching performance from a starter, tonight is the night Max Scherzer will get the call.
Well, 5 walks by Max Scherzer 5 days ago in Cleveland. That's not going to cut it against this lethal Texas Rangers ball club. You've got to attack the strike zone with well-located strike one, preferably a fastball. When he's doing that, he's lethal. 5-3 with a 2.86 earned run average since May 30th. That's since he went down to the minor leagues for a little bit of a tune-up. But this Texas team is so good, you can't just throw fastballs by them. You've got to mix in a slider, you've got to mix in a changeup, and somehow keep them off balance. And somehow Max needs to go out there and just throw a shutout.
What do you say we get a win tonight? You on board?
It'd be nice. It'd be nice.
He's on board. We're on board. We hope you're on board. Right now we send it back to the Call Sam Studios. And with more in our coverage, here's Mickey York. up this series against the Tigers. And if Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. Here's the starting lineup for the visiting Rangers. It is presented tonight by Honda Bloomfield. Elvis Andrus leads it off. He'll play short, followed by Michael Young and Ian Kinsler. Vladimir Guerrero back in the lineup tonight as the DH. Josh Hamilton is in center field, and Nelson Cruz, David Murphy, Benji Molina, and Chris Davis round out the Texas starting lineup. The scouting report on Max Scherzer is presented by Ace Hardware.
He's been striking out quite a few. As a matter of fact, he comes in 6th in the American League, almost averaging 1 strikeout per 9 innings. Home cooking. He has been very good here at Comerica Park. His last 5, he has won all 5 of those starts, and he simply just needs to go out and throw a shutout here today. That's what you need to do when your club is struggling. You got to go out and put up some zeros.
And hopefully that'll be the case tonight. Again, a stacked lineup for Texas as Elvis Andrus leads it off. It'll be Andrus, Young, and then Kinsler facing Max Scherzer. Here we go. The first pitch of the ball game is inside.
That's a good pitch. Andrus is one of those guys that likes to swing early and often. As a matter of fact, he singled on the very first pitch of yesterday's game.
And 7 for his last 15. He has been a hot hitter for Texas.
Successful squeeze in last night's game by Andrus as well.
Elvis batting .278. Hasn't homered this year. And he checks his swing. They want the appeal. He did not go. Todd Tishner down at first base. 2-1 on Andrus. 4 for 11 in this series against the Tigers. And a wave and a miss. Scherzer in search of a victory tonight. It would be his 7th of the year. He comes in at 6-7. Max, of course, has been racking up the strikeouts, including a season high 14 earlier this year. That's fouled away. What a great night for baseball here as Scherzer takes the hill with numbers that are improving each time out.
He's got an electric right arm. He comes in 1 game under 500. That earned run average at 4.74, but he has punched out 95 and he's walked 40.
He had the 5 base on balls in his last start against the Cleveland Indians in that 4-game series.
Said he couldn't sleep after that. He was not happy about his performance in Cleveland.
3-2 pitch in the air, right field. Ordonez in the shadows.
Let's take a look at the rest of the Tigers defensively, and of course it's always presented by Beaumont Hospital. That outfield trio, Bosch, Jackson, Ordonez, 18 outfield assists. They've done a very nice job for Jim Leland in the outfield. G Money, Gerald Laird back behind the plate today. Avila, he caught yesterday.
Here's Michael Young, 3 for 11 in this series against the Tigers.
It's imperative for Scherzer today to throw strike 1. Well-located fastballs. You cannot try to throw fastballs by this Texas Rangers team when they're in very friendly hitter counts, which would be 1-0, 2-0, 2-1.
And also imperative for Scherzer to put up a 0 in the first inning. Texas got 2 in the first in game 1 and 2 in the first last night. The Tigers falling behind in each of those games.
Scherzer's got that good slide piece today. That one buckled the knees of a very good hitter in Michael Young. Take a look at this pitch and take a look at Young's knees.
The 1-2.
You know, the one thing about this losing streak, partner, is the fact that before the All-Star break, Jim Leland was playing a National League style of baseball, hitting and running. Guys were moving. Team was playing with a lot of energy. But when you fall behind as much as they have lately, it's kind of tough to play that kind of game.
It really does force your hand in terms of shutting down the running game when you're down 4 or 5 runs. And I kind of like the brand of ball the Tigers were playing going into the break.
Oh, Jim will sacrifice bunting in the very first inning, trying to get that runner into scoring position. And on many occasions, the Tigers were scoring first in ball games, and their chances increase greatly when they score first.
That one just missed. Michael Young still alive, and the count goes to 3-2.
In this particular count, Michael Young tries to hit the ball the other way, unless you hang him a breaking ball. If you hang him a breaking ball, he'll hit that ball to left field, but fastballs usually go in Ordonez's direction.
Young is under 300 now, 299 coming in.
It's a good ball club. We've seen them the last couple of days. We saw them very early in April. They had some guys that were still hurt, some other guys that weren't performing well. But Ron Washington's got them clicking on all cylinders right now.
Again, the 3-2. Check out the splits on Scherzer. You see that he pitches really well here at Comerica Park. And like most Tiger starters this year, the earned run average on the road is much higher. In fact, in some cases, about 2 runs higher away from this ballpark.
With the stuff that Scherzer has, his numbers should translate a little bit better away from Comerica Park.
There's a walk. First base runner of the game. Michael Young is aboard. We'll bring up Ian Kinsler.
Close, but not far enough.
Kinsler has a 13-game streak going. He has homered twice in this series. 6 RBIs to give him 38 for the year. And after battling an ankle sprain early in the season, which landed him on the DL, he's healthy again. Ball 1. Kinsler 328 during this 13-game hitting streak. He's been a guy that has put up big numbers at times in the big leagues, but he's also been hurt a lot. In fact, he's had a stint on the DL in each of his first 5 years in the major leagues. Hammers this one in the air to right center field, not deep at all. And Ordonez will haul it in, 2 gone.
This Texas Rangers team is really no fluke at all. They have the best record in baseball since April 22nd. They are 50-30, and they come in with an outstanding road record as well. And they have won quite a few games lately, 16 of their last 21 away from their ballpark. So they are one team in the major leagues that takes their act on the road and does pretty well with it.
And here's a good reason why. Vladimir Guerrero back in the lineup tonight. Had the night off last night. Big swing by Guerrero.
It must be a nice luxury to have to give your big guy a rest that has 20 home runs and 76 driven in, and your ball club still goes out and wins the ball game. But you got to take care of your players, though.
They scored 8 runs on 13 hits without Guerrero last night. Scherzer is 0-1.
Ron Washington was telling me before the game that Vladimir didn't even go on the field yesterday. Just a total day off. Don't do anything. Just kind of sit back, get a massage, and kind of take care of your body. Those are the good days off.
Another big swing. 1-2. I was going to say, I'd love to have a gig where every now and then I could just take a day off, have a massage.
Don't do nothing. Just don't come out. No batting practice, no nothing. That's what Vladdy did yesterday. Scherzer's got a really good slider here tonight, and he's throwing it often.
Here's the 1-2. Just off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The fastball from Scherzer, and he almost got the outside corner.
97 miles an hour away from his arm side, and that was a strike last night. Wally Bell was calling that ball a strike.
2-2. Home plate umpire tonight is Jim Wolf. So Guerrero is still alive in this at bat. And that is strike 3. Vladimir caught looking. Scherzer gets his first strikeout. And a scoreless inning for Texas. things off for the Tigers. The starting lineup tonight presented by Big Boy. Jackson, Damon, Ordonez, your top three. Cabrera cleaning up. And you got Brennan Bosch in left, Carlos Guillen at second base. It'll be Kelly at third tonight again. Laird will catch, and Santiago batting ninth and playing shortstop. The Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Colby Lewis of the Rangers. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
What a nice sign he was by John Daniels, their general manager. He had pitched in Japan the last couple of years and pitching real well away from their home ballpark with a 171 opponent's batting average. He's also had 4 games this year with 10 strikeouts or more. That's the first time it'd been done in a Texas uniform since Nolan Ryan did it back in 1991.
So Lewis ready to go to work. It'll be Jackson starting things off. First pitch swinging, base hit out of the reach of Elvis Andrus, who's been fielding everything hit his way in this series.
First time we've seen Jackson pull a ball in quite some time for a base hit. Usually Jackson is going the opposite way, but that fastball was up and it was in, and Jackson got on top of it and whistled it right past Andrus.
It would be nice to see the Tigers get on the board first in this one. 6-game hitting streak now for Jackson. Damon is up there, and he looks at a ball high.
Kobe will throw you lots of strikes, and he will give you lots of fastballs, but they're well-located fastballs. He also has 3 different breaking balls at 3 different speeds, a couple of curveballs and a slider, and he will also feature a changeup.
Johnny last night had his 10-game hitting streak ended. So this year he's had 2 really pretty good streaks, a 10-gamer, a 15-gamer. Hitting a solid 277.
Now this count is starting to work itself into the Tigers' favor should they want to put a runner in motion.
3-0.
They had Lewis on the ropes in that start back in April very early. He was pitching in a lot of traffic. Tigers scored a couple of runs in the very first inning. They were able to bend him, but they weren't able to break him, and he held on to get 10 strikeouts in that game.
Yeah, in that game, Jackson led off with a home run against Lewis, his first and only big league home run so far. But it was the middle innings that they just couldn't touch it.
Yeah, he settled in nicely.
3-1 on Johnny Damon.
Yeah, even though this is a count to where, as a good look at his numbers from that start on the 25th, if Jackson's running, you can't rely on Damon putting the ball in play. Get a good jump if you're going.
He wants him. Good start, single and a walk.
Let's take a look at the Texas Rangers defensively in this ball game. You've got Murphy, Hamilton, Cruz in the outfield. You've got Young, you've got Andrews, you've got Kinsler and Davis that round out the infield. Benji Molina is back behind the plate for the 2nd consecutive day.
And here is Ordonez with 2 on, nobody out. Maglio relatively quiet in the series, 1 for 9. 58 RBIs this year. His only hit was a home run. Lewis missing away, and so he continues to fall behind. Jackson singled on the first pitch he saw. Now a walk to Damon. There's the strike called.
Last couple of years, Lewis pitched in Japan. He pitched for the Hiroshima Carp and led the league in strikeouts last year. 186 strikeouts against 19 walks. That is a fascinating number.
Popped him up. Left side of the infield. Michael Young. Infield fly rule. 1 gone. So Lewis retires his first batter, but now he's got to deal with Miguel Cabrera. It's been a big series for Cabrera, 5 for 10. His average up to 342. 2 long balls in the series. swing and a miss.
And Cabrera gives you a reason to tune in every single night. And one of the best players in all of baseball. Lethal right-handed bat. Whereas number 24, Tony Perez of the Cincinnati Reds, used to wear number 24, and that's one of Cabrera's favorite players. Doggy was his nickname.
Perez?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, Doggy. He could drive them runs in, too. That big red machine. He was probably one of the more underrated players on that big red machine.
No question. Maybe the most underrated player.
I mean, because you had all those superstars in Morgan and Rose and Concepcion and Foster.
Bench.
Yes. And you had Perez that was driving in all the runs.
The 0-2. In the air to center field. Hamilton cruising over. And the runners have to hold. 2 gone. By the way, tonight's game is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Comcast. Well, here's a guy in search of a big hit. Brendan Bosch would love to come through here. Bosch at .321 is just 1 for 10 in this series against Texas.
That one hit should have been a game winner. It was that play where Damon was on second. It didn't quite get a good read on the ball, and therefore he didn't score. He was at third base, and Carlos Guillen hit into a double play to end the inning. I believe it was the 11th inning of that ball game a couple of nights ago.
Yeah, that one really hurt. Turned a potential victory into a 14-inning loss, and he pops up the first pitch. Left side of the infield, Andrews. And Lewis pitches out of an early jam here. No runs. 1 hit, 2 left. Let's go to the second. Quebec strength and stability since 1849. And by Comcast, call 1-800-COMCAST for TV, phone, and internet. Glorious night for baseball here in downtown Detroit. Tigers and Rangers wrap up a 3-game set. Top of number 2. And back to the hill goes Max Scherzer. He'll face Josh Hamilton to lead it off for the Rangers. Hamilton to be followed by Cruz and then Murphy. Tigers a golden opportunity, but they strand 2 in the bottom of the first. 7 hits in the series for Hamilton. And Santiago had him played perfectly on that ground ball. 1 away. Hasn't been retired too much in this series, but down goes Hamilton. Now Nelson Cruz. Tigers at 48-44. Texas 55-39. Big series for Cruz. 5 RBIs. Had the game winner a couple of nights ago in the 14th.
It seems like a lot of their offensive players have had big series.
Well, they had 19 hits in the first game, and then 13 more last night. They've been spreading the wealth. Well, Cruz now is on the active hitting streak list. Kinsler 13, Posey 14. Cruz has a 9-game. Fly ball, right field. This will be playable for Ordonez.
Former Tiger, also Polanco on that list, checking in with a 12-game hitting streak. Boy, was he fun to watch in a Tigers uniform.
And quite a career.
Too bad they didn't have enough nickels to keep him here at second base.
Good teammate. Great in the clubhouse.
No question. Good person.
Here's Murphy. Murphy at 266 is also homered in this series.
A serious home run.
Yeah, over 420.
Straightaway central.
1-1. Murphy originally in his career was a first-round pick of the Boston Red Sox before making his way to Texas. And he lines one, caught on a leap by Carlos Guillen. An 8-pitch inning. 1, 2, 3, they go. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Nifty play to close out the top of the inning.
He had him played perfectly. A couple of steps to his right. A little bit of a jump to snare. Possibly a double off the bat of Murphy.
And so Guillen will start things off in the bottom of the second. Carlos to be followed by Don Kelly and then Gerald Laird. 277 batting average for Guillen. 1 hit in 7 at-bats in the series. Last night the Tigers played Ryan Rayburn at second base. Carlos back out there tonight. Usually when you're 1 for 7 in a series, you've played a couple games, but that first one went 14 frames.
That's why he got the day off yesterday. 14 innings is a lot of innings for Carlos, and Jim Leyland said as much. He's trying to keep Carlos as fresh as possible. That's why he had the afternoon off, or I should say the evening off last night.
Well, as we go forward here in the second half, I don't think there's any question that Guillen becomes as critical in the Tigers lineup as anybody, especially now with the loss of Brandon Inge, because the bottom part of the lineup took a hit in terms of a little bit of offense with Inge on the DL now. And Guillen provides some power, certainly. The 2-2. 3-2 on Carlos Guillen. And Kelly will follow. Colby Lewis out of Bakersfield, California, 30 years old. And he missed it. It's another walk for Lewis.
Hey fans, this week on Fox Saturday Baseball, Paul Konerko and the White Sox head to Oakland to take on Kurt Suzuki in the Oakland A's. Coverage of Fox Saturday Baseball begins at 4 p.m. on your local Fox station.
Well, speaking of the White Sox, they are still in first place in the Central Division. Minnesota won earlier today, so they have crawled to within 3 now. Tigers 3.5 back. Here's the 1-0 from Lewis, and it's a strike in the outer edge, 1-1. Kelly has played the first 2 games at third base in the absence of Brandon Inge. He's got Sizemore, and has been recalled from AAA. And we would imagine he'll see some time there. The 1-1. Kelly's played some good D, hasn't he?
A couple of really nice diving plays in last night's game. Pretty fast runner as well in Andrews, the shortstop, but he gets up, fires a strike across the dime, and then later on, he took a single possible double away from the catcher, Benji Molina. Same type of play.
Diving all over the place. 1-2 on Kelly. Swing and a miss. So Lewis has to strike out. That'll be his first of the game. 1 gone. We'll bring up Gerald Laird. Laird at 183. Former Texas Ranger, played in Texas colors from 03 through 08. 0 for 2 in the series. Gerald actually began his professional career in the Oakland Athletics organization, and then was traded to Texas in a deal that sent a former Tiger, Carlos Pena, from Texas to Oakland.
Carlos Pena having another good year down in Florida. I think he's got 20 home runs.
Well, that Tampa team is a good one, and they'll be on the docket on the next road trip. Yeah, you're right. Pena does have 20 long balls. In the air, left field. That ball is hit well. It looks like it has plenty, and it does. Gerald Laird with a big 2-run homer early in this one. Boy, did the Tigers need that. Just the 3rd of the year for Laird.
We told you Lewis throws 3 different breaking balls. This one at 84 miles an hour and just spinning right over the heart of the plate. And most of the time, those don't make it to the catcher's glove.
400 feet is the distance on that homer. Laird hits his 3rd RBIs, 14 and 15. Santiago, the batter, rolls this one to first base. Routine for Davis. 2 gone. Well, great to see the Tigers take their first lead of this entire series. They had not led up until this point. Two gone for the top of the order now. Austin Jackson. One on Austin, who singled on the first pitch he saw back in the first inning. 306 average this season, and he came into this one batting .339 against right-handed pitching. The numbers just keep jumping against righties.
Leads all rookies with 54 runs scored, doubles, triples, stolen bases. Having an outstanding rookie campaign for the Tigers.
One and two. Well, they talked about the fact that probably the last thing that'll come for Jackson is the power. How imperative do you think it is for that to come sooner rather than later?
I think he's fine doing what he's doing right now. And he's been a nice table setter. He's getting lots of hits. He's got some extra bases. He wreaks havoc when he gets on the base pass. I think once he matures and really grows into his body and really learns how to hit for power, he'll hit for more power. I don't think they're going to rush it, that's for sure. That's the worst thing you could do, is try to make a kid try to hit for power.
In the air to right field and hit well. Cruz going back to the warning track to retire the side. Tigers grab the lead, though, thanks to Gerald Laird, a 2-run shot.
That, and so I'm anxious to face this Texas lineup because it's a real good lineup, so it'll kind of be a nice measuring stick for where I'm at.
Yeah, so far so good. The Tigers have also supported him now with 2 early runs.
This is a good measuring stick for where you're at. This Texas offense is real good.
The Rangers now will send Molina, Davis, and Andrews to the plate here in the top of the third. 2-0 Detroit on the home run by Gerald Laird. Molina 1 for 5 in the series. Last year's Player of the Week in the American League. On the strength of a cycle and a grand slam. His numbers with Texas, .250, was acquired July 1st from San Francisco. Oh, 2 on Molina. Former Angel, former Blue Jay, former Giant. Scherzer's 0-2. Way high. Molina and then Davis and then Andrews. Max has struck out 1 so far in this game. Molina has a couple of Gold Gloves in his past. World Series championship. It's driven in the air, but fouled down the left field line. There was a time, and it wasn't too long ago, this Rangers team, the last thing they thought about picking up was catching. Teagarden, Saltalamacchia, Ramirez, their big prospect. That's sky to right field, shallow right. Ordonez coming in. And 1 gone.
Well, their general manager, John Daniels, has given Ron Washington everything that they need at least up until this point, to try to dethrone the Anaheim Angels. They got Cliff Lee, they got Molina, and they're pretty healthy right now too.
Yeah, and that wasn't the case earlier this year. Here's Chris Davis, 2 for 11 in the series with a double. Davis was sent down earlier this year, and a AAA hit .354. Drives this one to left field. Brennan Bosch for the play, 2 gone. Now we have a chance. Back to the studio we go. Game break time with Mickey York. It is indeed, Mickey. It is 2-0 here in favor of the Tigers on a Gerald Laird home run.
That Tribe team was one of the hottest teams in baseball. They had won 6 straight coming into play today.
Manny Acta has them playing pretty good.
Good young team. Good young roster. That's what Jim Leland was talking about yesterday. The fact that in the big leagues on any given day, any one of the teams, whether it's a last place team or a second place team, they can jump up and bite you.
Just ask these Texas Rangers. Last week they were swept at home by Baltimore in a 4-game series.
Ooh.
And then they go to Boston and win 3 out of 4 there. So it's unpredictable. Slap the other way, base hit. Andrews has another hit in the series, his 5th. Here's Michael Young. Young had a base on balls, did not score in the first. He's got 55 RBIs this year, and there is no other number 2 hole hitter in the American League that has more. 55 from the 2 spot is the most in the AL.
It kind of gives you an idea how frequently Elvis is on the base paths when you got number 2 hitter driving in that many runs.
Elvis on base again here with a 2-out single. Here is Scherzer's 1-0, and it's fouled straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike on Michael Young. He's always done really well in his career against the Tigers. .313 against Detroit pitching. He's hit over 300 lifetime in this ballpark as well. But I would assume that if you check his numbers in most ballparks, it would be pretty good. That missed. 2 balls, 1 strike on Young. Scherzer gave up a walk in the first, had a 1-2-3 second, and now a 2-out single here in the third. Runner goes on 2-1. Here comes the throw down to second. Tag is in time. Andrews cut down. Laird doing it all tonight, hitting homers and throwing out runners. Caught stealing, ends the inning. all the best laundry detergent. Salt in theaters Friday. And by your Detroit area Volkswagen dealers. Visit DetroitVWDealers.com. Johnny Damon leads it off as we go to the bottom of the third here at Comerica Park. 2-0 in favor of the Tigers on the Gerald Laird home run. It'll be Damon Ordonez and Miguel Cabrera facing Colby Lewis. It's hammered out of play by Damon, and the count goes 0-2.
Colby Lewis is one of those guys that's kind of reinvented himself the last couple of years pitching for the Hiroshima Carp in Japan. We told you the last couple of years he also led the Central League in strikeouts.
The 0-2 pitch is nubbed in front of the plate. Lewis will come off to make the play and have no play. Infield hit for Johnny Damon.
But before he went to Japan, he was just kind of a journeyman, but went over there and pitched some outstanding baseball. And he parlayed that into a one-year contract, and the Rangers have an option on him next year, and no doubt they will pick up that option. But Johnny Damon couldn't have bunted this ball any better. Colby Lewis got a little tricky there between the legs, but a little too late. I also spent 3 years playing for the Hiroshima Carp in Japan.
Good experience?
It turned out to be a good experience. The first half of that very first season was very difficult. Very difficult.
In what way?
New culture, new food, new workout regimen, new teammates. You name it. Very, very difficult first half of the year. Baseball was the same, but off the field was where you just really were lonely. You really were.
How was the workout regimen different?
Well, you worked out from sun up to sundown in spring training.
That's different.
Literally. I'm serious. We would get up in the morning at about 6:30 as a team and go for a real short walk. The trainer would stretch you for about 5 minutes, and then we'd all go back and eat breakfast. And then the real young kids, they would have to go to the ballpark very early, but us as veterans, we didn't have to go as early as the young kids, but it was quite an eye-opener. I would go back again, though. It was a wonderful experience, as I said, after the first half of that first year.
Maglio taking a called third. Second strikeout for Lewis. That'll bring up Cabrera. And he drives one to center. Base hit. Damon to second base. And Cabrera has his 6th hit of the series.
Every time he swings the bat, his body is in perfect position. Very strong legs. And very quick hands with great hand-eye coordination.
So another opportunity now for Brendan Bosch, who popped up with 2 men on back in the first inning. Tigers now put up 4 hits in this game.
And Lewis doesn't give up many hits. The left-handers hitting only .217 against him coming into the game, and right-handers at .202. He has been outstanding this year in a Rangers uniform. Boy,
Bosch
he jammed himself twice today.
Pops it up at a shallow right. And Cruz makes the play, and Brennan is 0 for 2.
The second baseman,
He's going to bring up Guillen.
Looks like Brennan may be drifting a little bit with his body. When you see the body coming forward, the hands also come. That slows down your bat speed, and because of that, he's gotten jammed a couple of times today. When you stride with that front leg, there's got to be some separation with your hands. Your hands have got to go back to put you in a position to where you can get some good bat speed, and right now, Brennan's just not getting that real good bat speed.
So he's 0 for 2 today, and now 1 for 12 in this series here against Texas.
But that's all part of it. And when you come on the scene like Bosch has come on the scene, you make pitching coaches pay a little bit extra attention to you and trying to figure out how to get you out.
Here's Guillen. Carlos had a walk and scored on the home run by Laird in the second inning.
Have you ever been to Japan?
I have not, but I would someday like to go. I really would. I think it's an interesting culture. It'd be interesting to make the trip. But I can imagine that just like anything else,
the culture shock for you had to be a little bit difficult early on.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
1 ball, 1 strike on Guillen. How long of a trip is that?
Whew. I'd probably say from Los Angeles, where I used to fly out of, probably, I think it was somewhere in the 10, 11, 12-hour range. It's quite a ways.
Double digits?
Yeah. They flew you over there first class, though. First class ain't bad.
No, it's not.
First class is not bad when you're going that far.
You know, you can fly to Cincinnati first class and it's still good. It's good anywhere. 2-1 on Carlos Guillen. Damon has an infield hit. Cabrera has a single. They're aboard with 2 outs. I guess the question is, when you go over to play in Japan, how did you communicate with your manager, your coaches, and your teammates?
Interpreter.
Well, you did have one.
Had an interpreter that was with you 24/7.
What about during game situations?
Well, he was there too. He was on the bench.
Wow.
Yeah, he was on the bench with you. Mr. Masamoto was his name.
Is that right?
Yep.
3-1. Fouled off. 3-2 on Guillen.
You go to the restaurant, he had to order the food for you, especially if it wasn't an American kind of menu, which most weren't. Couldn't read it.
That's when he just points at the menu. I'll take one of those.
You start eating the same thing over and over and over, that's for sure.
3-2 on Carlos. Crowd's starting to get into it now. Tigers trying to tack onto their lead. Runners go, and strike 3 called on Guillen. I think he knew it. He is punched out of there by Jim Wolf. 3rd strikeout for Lewis. Tigers strand a pair. Hitting lists, and of course he passed Pudge Rodriguez in a few of those categories, but he's their all-time hit leader, and what a career he's had since coming to the big leagues with Texas.
Well, anytime you pass Pudge Rodriguez in anything, as many years as Pudge spent in a Texas Rangers uniform, you're doing something.
First pitch grounded foul.
And with all the damage that Michael Young has done, how come we don't talk about him as at some point in time potentially ending up in Cooperstown? I mean, what does he have to do? I mean, 200 hits a year. He's kind of dominated for the last 10 years for a table setter.
Well, he has. You know, it's for him to get to 3,000 hits.
Got a long, long way to go.
And that's just it. So that may be one of the reasons.
That just goes to show how tough it is to get 3,000 hits.
And Michael right now is 33 years old. He'll be 34 at the end of the year.
He's got about another good 5 years in him. Young body. Less demanding position these days.
Well, he's just gotten another hit closer to 3,000. That one is going to the wall. Extra bases. Young on his way to third, and he is in, sliding with a triple. Fourth hit of the series for Michael Young.
Scherzer has thrown some really good breaking balls today, but that changeup, it kind of faded right back into the happy zone of Michael Young, and boy, with a real short stride and a real quick swing. And he whistled that ball off the gate in left center field.
Here's Kinsler now as the Rangers try and get their first run. Third triple of the year for Michael Young. Ball outside to Kinsler, who flied to right field his first time up. 304 average for Kinsler. We were talking last night about how Kinsler has always been a dead pull hitter, and I guess he remains a pull hitter, but he has said that this year he's tried to make a conscious effort to go the other way a little bit more. Widen up the field, go foul line to foul line.
He's still hitting 300, so he must have had some success doing that. He's got a lot of power, wiry body, and he and his shortstop made some really nice defensive plays last night. It's a tough count right here for Scherzer, especially to throw a fastball by Kinsler. 2 balls, no strikes.
Now 3-0.
With a runner on third and less than 2 outs, would not be shocked if it was a fastball to Kinsler's liking, and that Ron Washington, his manager, would turn him loose. Ugh.
95 on the gun for strike one. 3-1. This is the meat of the lineup coming up. You've got Kinsler, you've got Guerrero on deck, you've got Hamilton, then you've got Cruz. That is popped up, heading back out of play, and they'll get back into the seats. Michael Young's triple here in this inning, by the way, was his 46th all-time triple, which leads the Rangers. That's fouled away again. There's that hits by direction we were talking about a little bit earlier. You can see 12 hits to the right side, but as you commented, still a lot of those to left.
How many triples does Young have?
Young has 46 career
triples.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Kinsler is out of there. One gone.
That's a good pitch. It's a gutsy pitch, too. It's a changeup, and it's good to see him mix all his pitches in. You can see the grip coming out of his hand, and that's the one that Scherzer likes to throw with 2 strikes. It's the one that kind of just acts like a fork ball and goes straight down. It's a big out. You don't have to throw this guy a strike here. He'll still swing at it. Don't give him anything too good to hit.
He got out in front of that one. Fortunately, too far out in front of it. 0-1 on Vladimir Guerrero, who is enjoying quite a comeback year now that he's healthy here with the Texas Rangers.
He has had a great career. 300 every year, driving in 100 just about every single season. Hits for average, power. It's been a dangerous bat for a long time.
Here are the career numbers. Tony Riggins, the GM of the Angels, was saying we would love to have had Guerrero back this year, but he wanted more than 1 year on his contract. We weren't going to go beyond 1 year because he just wasn't healthy enough last year. And they didn't like the gamble of going more than 1 year, so he signed with Texas. And a swing and a miss, chasing out of the strike zone. 2 gone.
Hey fans, enjoy 15 days of summer at Comerica Park with a new ticket package that lets you pick the games that you want to attend. All purchasers receive great season ticket holder benefits, including postseason priority. 313-471-BALL or visit Tigers.com.
I could laugh because I butchered it the llast time I said it. They're going to get out of this jam. Hamilton is out 3 unassisted. Nice job by Scherzer. He's fired up as well. So are the fans. Hall of Fame on this day back in 1947. A lot of good switch hitters in the history of the game, but this was in 47.
You got to dip back a little ways.
Don Kelly leads it off, and the ropes one foul. It'll be Kelly, Laird, and Santiago.
And Kelly getting the start here tonight at third base, and more than likely with Sizemore being called up, he is going to start to get some reps at third base himself. And for me, whoever hits is going to get the most of the time at that position.
I think you're right.
Whoever hits. I mean, Sizemore might get some reps there. He did a very nice job in AAA. Casey Fiend went back down after pitching in last night's game, but if Kelly hits, he'll get some reps, and if Sizemore comes up and performs like they thought he was going to perform when he initially made the club as the opening day second baseman, he'll get a lot of time there.
0-2 on Kelly. Well, I agree with that statement because the Tigers certainly need some punch at the bottom of that lineup. And Sizemore will be given every opportunity, I think.
Sizemore said he played 3 games in Toledo this year at third base, including last night's game, but he said that he played third base in college as a sophomore and a junior, and also spent an entire summer playing in Cape Cod at third base. So he said the position is not foreign to him.
Swing and a miss, and for the second time in the game, Lewis strikes out Don Kelly, his 4th strikeout overall. One gone. Here's Gerald Laird. Well, Laird touched him up for a 2-run shot back in the second. That remains the only offense in this game.
And one of the few mistakes that Lewis made in this game, and Laird did miss it. Hanging breaking ball at about 84 miles an hour. That was right down the middle.
Laird's first home run since June the 28th when the Tigers were playing in Minnesota against the Twins. There's a strike called, 1-1.
Ball does fly out of here at Comerica Park during the course of the summer. And also today there's a lot of wind blowing out toward left field, so anything up If you hit it pretty good, the left's going to fly out of here tonight.
And Laird hit it pretty good.
Here's that home run in case you missed it.
.400 feet worth, and it cleared the bullpen out in left field. 1-2 is hit in the air to right field and hit pretty well. Cruz, though, will go to the warning track. 2 outs. Here comes Santiago. Tigers tonight have out hit the Rangers 4-2, and they lead 2-0. Tigers have Toronto coming in next. The Rangers, meanwhile, going to fly home after this one tonight, get home really late.
They got the Angels when they get home waiting on them, too. That's going to be a big series for them.
Big 4-game set with the Halos coming up Thursday through Sunday, and they're trying to add to their lead. The Angels lost today. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Hit to the right side on a line. Kinsler makes the play in a 1-2-3 inning. So we'll go to the 5th inning here at Comerica. Still 2-0. AT&T, find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Great night here in downtown Detroit. Beautiful night, as a matter of fact. The Tigers wrap up this series, and they have a lead tonight. 2-0 is our score. Gerald Laird with a home run. It remains the difference in this one as the Rangers come to the plate in the 5th inning. Scherzer back to the hill facing Nelson Cruz. He'll start things off, and David Murphy and Benji Molina. Max in this one has struck out 3. One and one.
This Rangers team, starting with Michael Young, their number 2 hitter, and you get down to Cruz, they're all hitting over 300 and driving in lots of runs. I don't know how much is that is the ballpark they play in or just the damage they can do overall.
I guess the only way to figure that out is to, look at the splits home and road to see how they're doing on the road. But
they're winning on the road.
Yeah, but I would imagine some of it has to do with that park, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a nice baseball park to hit in.
Cruz looking uncomfortable in this at bat, barely stays alive.
Max did a wonderful job last inning. After a triple by Michael Young, he left him stranded going through the heart of their lineup, and he's had a really good slider here tonight as well. And he's thrown quite a few of them.
2-2. Bouncing ball to second base, right at Carlos Guillen. 0 for 2 for Nelson Cruz, one gone. Bring up David Murphy. Murphy lined the second baseman his first time up, 0 for 1. Had a hit taken away in a leaping play, and it's no surprise because Murphy hits .341 career in this ballpark. There you go. 3 homers, 6 RBIs in that stretch. 12-game stretch. 2-0 pitch. Two and two. Rangers got a leadoff triple to start the fourth, but couldn't score him. And Scherzer struck out Kinsler and Guerrero. And then he got a ground ball from Hamilton and a whale of a pitching job in the fourth inning, stranding that 3-bagger. Max trying to halt this losing streak for the Tigers. So far, so good. 2-2 pitch. Make it 3-2 now on David Murphy.
Well, on our pitching report on Scherzer, the final bullet point was throw a shutout. When your team is struggling and you're struggling to win games, if you're capable, and Max is capable, go out there and just shut the other team down until your offense wakes up.
Chopper to the right side again. Carlos. 2 gone. Well, as soon as this game ends, our coverage continues with Tigers Live. Here from manager Jim Leyland and the players. Plus, we'll break down the game and show you all the highlights. Tigers Live from the Call Sam Studios immediately after this game right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Here's Molina with 2 outs. It's 5 in a row retired since the triple by Young last inning.
Even though they picked up Molina, or they made a trade for Molina on July the 1st, their pitching staff has not missed a beat with him behind the plate. He learned that staff very quickly. Still having a difficult time learning the bullpen, he said, but as far as the starters are concerned, he's got a pretty good handle on those guys.
And that's one aspect that you really don't even think about when a guy joins a new team mid-season, putting all that he had learned with his old team behind him and starting really from scratch.
He hasn't been in the American League for about 3 years. 2006 was the last time that he was in the American League. So some of these hitters he just does not know, but he's learning them.
So second walk now allowed by Scherzer.
No doubt Cabrera will play behind Molina. He's not going nowhere.
You don't think so?
No. Unless there's a Lamborghini over there down there at first base, taking down the second.
I don't think there is. Chris Davis, the batter. Just for grins, let's look up the stolen base numbers for Benji Molina career.
I'm going to say
this is 14th season.
All right, let me guess. I'm going to say he's got a total of 8 in 14 years.
Way too high. Really? 3.
Oh, man.
He's been caught 7 times, too. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. There you go, 30%. 3 steals for Molina. Here's the 1-1. Fouled away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Davis flied out in the 3rd. He hit it to left field. It's a guy that hit 21 homers last year. But Davis also struck out 150 times last season in less than 400 at bats. Fouled away. Tonight only 2 hits allowed by Scherzer. The triple by Young.
Max needs to be careful with that changeup. Davis was tardy on the fastballs that he has thrown him in this at bat. But if you decrease the velocity by 10 miles an hour, you allow him to catch up with that pitch. So if you do want to throw him something off speed, make sure you locate it well.
Swing and a miss. And he struck him out. Davis is out of there, and so are the Rangers. 4 strikeouts for Max. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Hall of Fame on this day back in 1947. Former Cardinal, former New York Giant, Frankie Frisch.
Frankie.
1919 to 1937.
Big league name there. Frankie Frisch.
MVP in 31. And there's your answer. Colby Lewis back at the hill going to the bottom of the 5th.
Real slow breaking ball there by Lewis at 75 miles an hour. That's the first one of those he's thrown today.
Jackson fouls it away, 0-2 on Austin. He's 1 for 2. Back in 47, also a member of that Hall of Fame class. The Tigers' Mickey Cochran got in that year. Lefty Grove and Carl Hubble also went in that year. The 0-2 pitch is inside.
Only one player going in this year. The Hawk, Andre Dawson. And Whitey Herzog going in this year as well, and Doug Harvey.
Doug Harvey, the umpire.
Yeah. There'll be a couple that get in next year for sure. Bert Blyleven will get in next year, and Robbie Alomar Jr. will get in next year.
You think Blyleven will do it?
Blyleven will get in next year.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think Blyleven will get in next year. He deserves to be in there.
2-2 is on the ground left side. Deep in the hole. Andrews going to have a tough play here. Safe at first base.
Anybody else but Jackson running, and that's an out. That's how good Andrews is, and he's a little upset with himself, but what are you going to do, young man? You can't make every play, Elvis. He's got some range. He gets over to this ball and starts to surround it because he knows he has to get some kind of momentum going back toward first base, which allows him to get off a real good throw. Nice stretch by Davis, the first baseman, but Jackson too much speed. He made that play close.
Real close.
He has made some dazzling plays in this series.
5 hits for Detroit, an infield single for Jackson. Austin now with 2 hits, and he's at first base.
Elba's not playing like a 22-year-old, that's for sure.
Andrus, when they acquired him in that Teixeira deal, really wasn't even one of the headliners. He was dealt along with Harrison and Saltalamacchia. Those were the 2 bigger names. Ball's hit to right field straight at Cruz.
As a matter of fact, he is 21. He will not be 22 for another month. He doesn't turn 22 until August 26th.
That Teixeira deal really netted them some talent, didn't it?
Oh, when you trade away a blue chip player like Teixeira, that's the kind of return you want to get on your investment.
And it doesn't always happen that way, but boy, they scouted really well.
They got all the players from Atlanta.
Because at the time, Andrus and Neftali Feliz, who came over as well, they were enabled. There's the throwing error.
Keep going.
Jackson taking the turn. Here he comes to third. He's in there easily. 2-base throwing error by Lewis.
Tigers have to capitalize on all the mistakes that the Rangers make here tonight. Don't know if Jackson was running or not, but once this ball gets past Davis, it's on. Jackson tried to look back right here, but he no need to look back. Just look at your third base coach. He'll tell you what to do on that particular play. Anytime the ball is behind you like that one was, down in the right field corner, down the right field line in foul territory, look to your third base coach. He will tell you whether you can get over there or not.
Maglio pops it up.
Get fouled.
Let's see if it gets back into the dugout. Young can't get there.
Watch out, Teeter. That almost got Doug Teeter.
There he is. You got to throw the glove up, Doug. See, those guys down there, they get on us when we get balls come screaming into the booth.
Yeah.
And what happened there?
That almost got him.
Oh, 1, infield in. Checked his swing, and he went. Todd Tishner said he went around, and Maglio doesn't like it.
That's all right, Maglio. You got one big one left. Maglio does not strike out that often. As a matter of fact, he has never struck out 100 times in a season in his career. Good hand-eye coordination. He'll need some of that right here.
Chop to the shortstop. With the infield in, they will not score the run.
They might walk Cabrera here, but that might be just enough to wake up Brennan Bosch if they do decide to put Cabrera on or pitch around him. They're going to talk about it at least. I don't think there's a guy in the American League that causes as many pitching coaches to come out and talk during at-bats as Cabrera does.
Nope.
And the strange thing about it is if you throw him a strike, he's got a pretty good chance of getting you. Now, if you want to pitch around him, you can do that. Hey, fans, join Santa Paws tomorrow afternoon at 1:05 when the Tigers host the Toronto Blue Jays. It's Christmas in July, and you can enjoy holiday-themed fun throughout the game. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Those Blue Jays are already here in town waiting after they got beat in their ball game this afternoon by the Kansas City Royals and Zach Greinke.
Here's Cabrera, 1 for 2. Swing and a miss.
How about that for the Blue Jays? You see Greinke today, and you got Verlander tomorrow, followed by Porcello, I believe, who was lights out in his first start. And back in the major leagues since being sent down. Ooh, Cabrera has swung at 2 balls, and very seldom do you see Cabrera swing at balls that are out of the strike zone. Cabby trying to force the issue. He wants to drive that run in, but they're really not giving him anything to hit. And most times, and Cabby just go ahead and takes those pitches, but not here in this at-bat.
Tigers tonight are 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position and just 4 for 22 in that category this series. And Chopper hit to third. Michael Young in time for the out. Tigers threaten, do not score. 5 in the books, and it's still 2-0. Nothing in favor of the Detroit Tigers, and another good crowd on hand here tonight for the third and final game in this series as the homestand moves along. School's still out, so plenty of kids here at the ballpark enjoying Tigers baseball, eating some food. Scherzer back to the hill, and he delivers a strike to Elvis Andrus. Andrus 1 for 2, had a single, caught stealing back in the third. Did you read that story about the bet that Andrus made with John Daniels, their GM?
No, I did not read that.
Back in June, I guess Andrus bleached his hair, and John Daniels was making fun of it.
He bleached it with blonde?
He bleached it, I guess, blonde. They didn't specify. I assume he did. And Daniels said, you know what, if we win 10 straight, I'll bleach my hair.
Ooh.
And they won 10 straight.
Hello.
I think he just threw some streaks in his hair. He didn't go all the way. Some blonde streaks for John Daniels.
I know Lou Piniella did that a few years back when he was managing the Tampa Bay Devil Rays at the time. I think it was the same type of situation, a winning streak. He said, if we win a few games straight, I will dye my hair blonde, and he did.
Good motivator. Andrus is on his way to first.
Lou Piniella announced yesterday that he would be retiring after this year. 67 years old. He says it's time to go home and play with the grandkids.
Good for him. Chop to the shortstop. Santiago throws him out. One away. Time for another game break. To the studio we go, and here's Mickey York. All right, Mickey, thank you. Here it's still 2-0 as we play in the 6th inning, and Michael Young shoots one to right field and hits it well. Maglio going back to the track, to the wall to make the catch. 2 gone.
Scherzer's been good here today. He really has not left anything right over the heart of the plate. Everything has been down and in, down and away as Maglio gets close to the wall and makes a nice grab. And that's exactly what Scherzer needed to do. He needed to go out there tonight and simply own it. Attack the strike zone with first pitch strikes.
There's Kinsler. Mind you, this is a Texas team that came in with 32 hits in the first 2 games in the series. Tonight they have 2.
Oh, they can hit now.
0 for 2 for Kinsler. Further illustrating the night that Scherzer has had. In fact, the only hits he's given up, the triple to Young and the single to Elvis Andrus. One and 2 on Kinsler.
This fastball is explosive here tonight with real good life on it, real good movement. And G Money's calling quite a few of them.
And another one in 96 that is fouled out of play. 1-2 on Kinsler. Kinsler has hit safely in 31 of his last 34 games. Rangers team that came in leading the league in hits. And a team average of 292 since the start of May. That's when they started pouring it on. Ground ball deep behind the bag. It gets by the third baseman Kelly. Kinsler takes a turn, and now he's going to get to second base. Bosch unable to come up with it cleanly. That may be a hit and an error. More importantly, it's going to bring Guerrero up.
And Bosch may have had a shot at Kinsler had he come up with it. But Kinsler didn't hesitate, I don't think, when he rounded first base. A little stutter step.
Single E7 the call. And now both teams with an error. So Guerrero is up there with a chance to drive in a run. Bosch got there in time.
Yep.
Well, once it caromed off the glove, that gave Kinsler the opening that he needed. Fifth error for Brennan. Scherzer's 100th pitch is coming up. And it's high. 1-1 on Guerrero, who has struck out twice in this game. And the last time up, he pulled out the old rod and reel and went fishing for a pitch out of the strike zone. Here's the 1-1. When you look at the numbers that Guerrero has put up in his career, the numbers that he put up in Arlington may be part of the reason why the Rangers decided to go after him. He is a career .366 hitter at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, Texas.
I don't believe any active player has better numbers than that in that ballpark.
Doing nothing to hurt them this year.
He was a great sign by John Daniels.
Just outside. 2-2. Ooh, Scherzer wanted that one in 97. Wow. Two and two. To the second baseman, Guillen. And that is that. No runs, a hit, an error, one man left. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Bosch, Guillen, Kelly coming up.
Cam, it's been all G money. Gerald Laird, he played long ball very early back in the second for a 2-run home run, and then he threw a strike right on the bag, throwing out Elvis Andrews, trying to steal a base in the third inning. And G Money getting busy here today. Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light. I said Vladdy Guerrero has the possible highest batting average at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, but there are 3 other active players that have better numbers slightly from a batting average standpoint than Vladimir Guerrero.
I can't believe they'd be much better.
366 is his average, but Nomar Garciaparra has the best, but he's retired now, and a couple of other guys on that list. Magglio Ordonez checks in even before Vladimir.
Bosch leads it off, sends one high in the air, shallow to right. Kinsler going back and making the play.
Boy, Lewis has made some nice pitches on Brennan. He has jammed him 3 times today.
0 for 3 for Bosch, and with 1 gone, here's Carlos Guillen. Well as Scherzer has pitched in this game, Tigers still only have a 2-0 lead, so Lewis hadn't done all that bad himself.
Well, Tigers, as we told you earlier back in the start, that Lewis had against them in Arlington, he got off to a real rough start. He was on the ropes. Tigers scored a couple of runs early, and they didn't get much more after that. And his ball club went on to score 8, and they won that game. He's having a good year. He really is having a good year. 9-5 with an earned run average, just a shade over 3.5, and he's 5-1 in that ballpark in Texas.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Numbers are better in Texas than they are on the road. ERAs are pretty comparable, but he's won 5 and only 1 loss. Here's the 1-1. Guillen has a walk and a run scored. Again, if you tuned in a tad late tonight, Tigers got a 2-0 lead in the second on a walk to Guillen, a 1-out 2-run shot by Gerald Laird. Here's the 1-2. Line drive over the head of the second baseman, Kinsler. Guillen has a single.
The previous pitch, Lewis threw Carlos Guillen a fastball up around the belt buckle, and Carlos doesn't handle that pitch very well. But this one down and in, he likes this pitch. It's down, it's a breaking ball, and he has good concentration. He just kind of lobs it over the second baseman's head. Look how low that ball was.
Isn't that the area where most left-handers like the ball?
Yes, indeed. Down and in.
Here's Kelly. Down 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Popped up. Andrews. 2 outs.
Well, you can see how coming into this game, Lewis was holding left-handed batters to a .217 batting average. That fastball just runs in on their hands.
There's Gerald Laird. Colby Lewis was originally signed by the Rangers as a first-round pick. We got to go back to 1999. And he's bounced around, including here in Detroit. Didn't pitch much with the Tigers. In 06, he pitched in a couple of games.
I read that earlier, too, and I have to admit, I didn't remember.
I didn't either. He was here in 05 but was hurt, so we never saw him in 05. And then in 06,
3 games.
Yeah, that's it.
That was a good year. Tigers got to the World Series in 2006.
Rotator cuff surgery is how Lewis missed that entire 05 season with Detroit. 1-1 on Laird. Gerald's home run was his 3rd of the season. Chasing that time 1-2. And a toss back, and back in there standing up, Guillen. Carlos has 1 stolen base this year. He's been caught a couple of times. Only 3 Rangers hits and 6 Detroit hits tonight. A much calmer game than we have seen in the first 2 offensively. Off the end of the bat, foul. Laird got to the big leagues with these Texas Rangers back in 2003. Had a pretty good year, his final year in Texas before the Tigers went and got him. Here's the 1-2. Popped him up. Shallow center field, and Hamilton inning over. Tigers get a hit, strand a man. We're on our way to the 7th, where it's Hamilton, Cruz, and Murphy.
In fact, he is 7 for 12. Scherzer has been able to slow him down a little bit today, but the first couple of days he was on the base pass all night long. What a season he's having. MVP type year for Hamilton.
It is indeed, and when you look at some of the numbers since June, when he had that huge month, their team is 28-15.
He has gone a couple of months now where he's got a 440 batting average. Come on now.
That's nuts.
I mean, we're almost out of July, and he's got a 440 number looking at him.
Hamilton, Cruz, Murphy in a 2-0 game, 7th inning underway, and a big swing by Hamilton.
As a matter of fact, in the last 10 games, Hamilton has raised his batting average from 340 to 355. And that's not easy to do when you start to have as many at-bats as these guys have now approaching August. 15 points in the last 10 days.
Hamilton, for the last 3 consecutive years, has gotten more votes than any other American League outfielder in the All-Star voting. 3 straight years now. 0-2 on Hamilton.
We're talking well over 400 plate appearances.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Tigers with some action going now. Weinhardt and Koch. Scherzer is over 100 pitches. That's 108, and his season high is 118.
Yeah, more than likely. This is his last inning. And you need that one guy to bridge the gap to get you to Valverde.
Two on Hamilton. Hamilton came into this game today hitting over 400 against right-handed pitching this year. And he swings and misses. Scherzer will get him this time. 5 strikeouts for Max. Max has gone 7 straight starts in which he has fanned at least 6. Got 5 tonight. Here is Cruz. And he has limited Texas to only 3 hits in this game. Nelson 0 for 2. And there's their 4th hit. 1 out single. He's going to bring up Murphy. Tying run come to the plate. Murphy has a home run in this series. He's hit 4 of them this year. Ball 1 outside. .113 pitches now for Max, who averages about 102, a little over or under 102. In his 17 starts. There's a good pitch on the outer edge. 1-1. Scherzer walked a man in the first, gave up a single in the third, leadoff triple in the fourth, but pitched through all 3 of those innings. Not too many base runners tonight for this Texas team. Lifted foul down the left field line. And back out of play. Murphy waiting on a 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, even here, in 115 pitches, his velocity is still very good.
Well, if you're entertaining the thought of running at all and down by 2 this late, this might be the time to do so. Cruz can steal a base, and more than likely, Scherzer's going to throw that changeup that he's had all night long.
Missed it 3-2.
No changeup, but a breaking ball. But it was a good count to run in.
There's Molina waiting on deck. And he walked him. A single and a walk, 2 men on.
Hey fans, follow the Tigers on your iPhone, iPod Touch, BlackBerry, and Android phones with MLB.com at Bat 2010, featuring play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcast. Visit Tigers.com today for more details.
Rick Knapp comes trotting out. Tigers have that bullpen ready if needed. They've been warming up for a while. The tying runs are on the bases here in the 7th inning. Scherzer has equaled his season high in pitches with 118.
So Rick Knapp has had his say. He's going to bring up Molina.
Benji with a walk and a fly ball. Tying runs on the bases, a single by Cruz and a walk to Murphy. Molina bends away from a breaking ball. A good double play candidate, Molina. He's hit into 10 this year between Texas and San Francisco. Fouled away 0-2. Scherzer now has reached a career high 120 pitches. He's gone out and given his manager everything he's had tonight, and to this point has kept him off the board. Fouled away. Cruz had a single. Murphy had a walk with one out. Way high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Laird calls time and heads out to the mound.
And Scherzer having a little difficult time of finding his way here in the 7th, but not so earlier. Fastball and a slider here to get Vladdy, and also a changeup. And we're also going to show you the arm slots that he throws all 3 pitches from. You see the fastball grip, the slider, and then the changeup on the far right. And all 3 from the same arm angle, same arm speed. And when you do that, that's when you get yourself lots of outs, which he's gotten today.
And it looks like he's going to get a double play. 6-4-3. Inning over, threat over. What a job by Scherzer tonight. 7 sparkling innings. The sweeper in the 7th inning. Laird a 2-run shot. Hamilton in the series 7 for 13, but hitless tonight. And Max Scherzer, well, this is what exactly the Tigers needed here tonight. in his last 6 home starts, a 1.33 ERA, so he continues to pitch well here in the home ballpark. Got the Tigers 7 strong, 7 shutout tonight. Meanwhile, Colby Lewis goes back to the hill facing Santiago here in the 7th. Lewis will have Santiago, Jackson, and Damon. First pitch is in for a strike on Ramon. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
Colby Lewis, his pitch count is in really good shape. He's only thrown 82, now 83 pitches. Majority of his pitches have been strikes as well.
Realize he was that efficient tonight.
It seems like the guys like Lewis across baseball, not your hard throwers. It seems like your hard throwers, your strikeout guys, they've always got 100 pitches in the 6th inning, but your guys that kind of move it in and out and change eye level, those guys seem to pitch very late in games.
Yeah, they last a little bit longer. A base hit for Santiago. Tigers have 7 hits, leadoff man out.
I don't know how Jim will play this, whether he will bunt with Jackson or whether he will hit and run or whatever he will do, but Jim wants to score another run. That much is for certain. So we might see a sacrifice bunt here by Jackson.
Austin has 1 sacrifice this year. 2 out of 3 tonight for Jackson. Another multiple hit game, which gives him 31 of those this year. And only Cabrera has had more. The showing bunt, 1-0. .307 average for Jackson. And now he's going to have a chat with Gene Lamont.
Well, I think what happened there is Gene Lamont took the bunt sign off, and Jackson wanted to make sure he saw him take the bunt off. Jim will do that on occasion in a bunting situation. And when the count's now 1-0, when he thinks that that pitcher might just lay one in there, he'll allow the hitter to take one swipe at it before putting the bunt back on.
And he'll lay it down foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, with his 2 hits tonight, Jackson now has 104 hits this season. The last Tiger rookie to have near that was Craig Monroe with 102 back in 2003.
Simo.
Well, what a big part of the 06 championship Craig Monroe was.
Yes, indeed.
All those postseason home runs he hit.
5 of them, I think. Quite a few. He had a lot of big home runs that season for the Tigers.
It's back in the runner in. Santiago, a leadoff single here in the 7th. And he pushed that one foul, and Jackson not happy with himself. 1-2. Austin now a 6-game hitting streak. Jackson's longest hitting streak of the year was 11. It was back in early June, actually mid-June. Ground ball under the glove of Young in the left. So Jackson is able to bunt him up, but he'll pick up a base hit to move him up. 3-hit game.
Not a bad pitch by Lewis. It looked like he had Jackson out in front and lunging for it, but even when the body does get out in front, if you keep your hands back, you still have a chance to generate some bat speed, which Jackson did, and he found that hole past a diving Michael Young.
That is 8 times this year now Jackson has had 3 hits or more in a game.
Well, same situation on the infield. They're anticipating a bunt, and if Damon is bunting, he's got to go down toward third base. If you go in this direction, you cause Michael Young to come in and field the baseball, and that allows Jackson to kind of, Santiago to kind of coast over to third.
0-1. Johnny has a walk and an infield hit. No sign of bunt there, and he takes a strike. Now it's 0-2.
I have not seen, at least I don't remember seeing, one wheel play this year where the third baseman and the first baseman kind of crash, and then your shortstop and your second baseman, they kind of vacate their position. Second baseman goes to first, shortstop to third. I don't think I've seen one wheel play this year.
I don't remember one at all. Not against us.
I guess most managers just feel like that play doesn't work. And when you get that many infielders moving all around and you invite the hitters to hit the ball on the ground and find a hole, it used to be a popular play.
1-2 is rolled to the first baseman. They'll get the out there as Davis tags the bag, and so Damon is able to move the runners up.
That is as good as a bunt.
And it sets up your 3 and 4 hitters. We got Maglio and Mike Maddox also out now to have a chat with Lewis.
Mike Maddox is going to talk to Lewis about this situation. You've got a base open. The last thing you really want to do is walk Maglio or Ordonez to get to Cabrera. But that may be your best chance at getting out of this inning, to get a ground ball double play to get out of the inning.
Meanwhile, nobody warming up in the bullpen for Texas. Well, our next Tigers Weekly takes a look at all this beautiful ballpark has in store for fans of all ages. Mickey York and guest host Paws are your tour guides for Tigers Weekly. Game day at Comerica Park. Boy, that'll be a really interesting show. Premiering Friday, 6 p.m. here on Fox Sports Detroit. Anytime you can have Paws as your guest host, it's got to be quality.
I didn't know we had shrimp in the ballpark. Did you?
Apparently so.
We got some shrimp in the ballpark.
We might have to make a trip down there.
We haven't hit every concession stand here, apparently.
Well, the infield in. And a line drive to left, base hit. 1 run scores. Jackson goes to third and stops there, and Maglio comes through.
Well, apparently the option was given to Lewis to pitch to Maglio. And he threw a breaking ball up there, and Maglio didn't miss it. Runners on second and third. The infield is playing in right off the end of the bat for 1 RBI.
And that RBI is 59 for Ordonez. 3-0 Detroit. In support of Scherzer, Tigers were 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position before that base hit. 9 Tigers hits. Might as well get a couple more here. Cabrera is 1 for 3.
Ordonez only had a total of 50 RBIs last year. Grand total.
Popped him up. Shallow right field. Cruz still coming in.
You can't run on this line.
They're going to try and score him. The throw way up the line, and the run scores.
They caught him off guard.
Maglio will go to second base. That's a big run.
What a gamble here, but it paid off. Very, very shallow. Cruz has one of the better throwing arms of any of the right fielders.
That hit Jackson.
It did, right in the thigh, looks like. What a gamble. What a gamble. Ouch. Got him in a good spot, though.
Sac fly E9, allowing the runner to get to second base. 4-0 Detroit. Jackson seems to be okay, not rubbing it. Here's Bosch.
That's a good swing by Brennan. He has gotten jammed on his first 3 plate appearances here today. But he was looking for the fastball that time, and he had a really good quick swing at it.
Bosch has not hit a home run this month. Jim Leland was saying before the game today that he was told, Brennan, just hit the ball hard. Concentrate on hitting it hard. So don't worry about the home runs. No balls and 2 strikes on Brennan Bosch. 12 home runs total this season. 50 driven in. Here's the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tiger bullpen still working.
This has been the most stressful inning for Lewis, who came in with a real good pitch count.
Two-run 7th inning has doubled the lead for Detroit. Maglio with an RBI single. Cabrera with a sac fly. Mathis, meanwhile, is warming up in the Texas pen. That RBI for Cabrera, the league high 83rd of the year for Miguel. Here's the 2-2. Bosch tonight 0 for 3, 1 for 13 in the series. And despite the recent struggles, he still came in 6th in the American League in average. Breaking ball missed outside.
Well, you knew there was going to be some type of correction in the batting average of Bosch. He was not going to keep up that pace that he was on. 350 clip as a rookie. Like the stock market, little correction.
His stock price was through the roof. And there is strike 3. Bosch heading to first base, thinks he has a walk, and he is rung up. But a big inning for the Tigers. They get 2 runs. Maglio with an RBI single, scoring 1 of the 2, and it's now 4-0. At the top of the 8th, Brendan Bosch was rung up on what appeared to be a pitch that missed, but it was called strike 3.
It was a breaking ball that started off the plate and ended up off the plate, and Benji Molina pulled it back into the strike zone enough and quietly enough to get that call from Jim Wolf. Boy, oh boy, that was not a strike.
No, it wasn't. And Bosch is still saying it wasn't a strike. He's in right field now. Don Kelly, meanwhile, has moved to left field. And Danny Wirth has come on to play third base. So Jim Leyland maneuvering his defense. Phil Koch is the new pitcher.
And the league hitting .250 against Koch. He has a very good earned run average. He's won quite a few games. He has pitched 45 times now for Jim Leyland. Boy, has this been a nice piece to that trade. Real nice piece to the trade.
Kind of under the radar part of that trade. Wall side windows pitching change with Koch coming on.
And then you got Scherzer. You also got Slater. You got Jackson in that same deal. But Koch has been really good.
Davis 0 for 2. Hammers one foul, back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes.
Nice job by Max Scherzer here tonight, who did exactly what you need one of your big boys to do. When your team is struggling, having lost 7 in a row, you need one of your pitchers to go out there and to step up, and he stepped up today.
Swing and a miss. Koch has a strikeout.
Koch, I don't know what he did for the All-Star break, but he came back throwing 95, 96 miles an hour. He was throwing hard in Cleveland, too. He was touching 96 in this series.
Apparently a little rest did the trick.
Yeah, a little R&R. He's got the Elvis sideburns going these days. He's got Elvis at the plate.
Andrews is 1 for 3. Koch an 0.57 ERA in his last 20 outings.
What is that? 0.57?
0.57. 1 earned run in 15 2/3 innings.
Look out, Phillip. He's got that scowl on his face, too. You like those sideburns? You don't like them.
No. If it takes that long to answer,
I already know.
There's your answer.
You were trying to think of a kind way to say it.
Exactly, and I just couldn't come up with anything. They look good on him, though. How about that? To each his own.
Oh, no doubt.
Andrews had a single back in the 3rd, 1 for 3. Here's the 1-1. Elvis Andrews has turned into quite a performer. We talked about how that Teixeira deal really did a lot to restock Texas. Andrews came over, Felice came over, Harrison came over. Really one of the big parts was Saltalamacchia, and he really hasn't worked out. But the other guys have. Chop foul. I mean, this looks like a guy that's going to be a star for years to come on both sides of the baseball.
Yes, he does.
2-2 on Elvis Andrews. Back up the middle with Guillen in the backhand. Andrews is out. 2 gone. Join us again tomorrow. Series opening matinee between the Tigers and the Toronto Blue Jays. That's right, it's a matinee. Coverage begins just prior to the first pitch at 1 p.m. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire tomorrow afternoon on Fox Sports Detroit, Fox Sports Detroit HD. Ricky Romero having a pretty good year for the Jays against Verlander.
And Ricky Romero was scheduled to pitch in Kansas City, but Cito Gaston backed him up until tomorrow because he had a blister on his finger. And Ricky Romero was one of those standout rookies last year in the pitching department, along with Rick Porcello.
Wonder how long it's going to take this year before I call him Ricky Ricardo. Dropped that on him last year, I remember.
Lucy!
Here's the 0-1. I don't think Desi Arnaz had his fastball, though.
Those were the good old television days.
Indeed. Michael Young with a triple and a walk.
Also dating ourselves a little bit.
Nothing wrong with that. The old black and white sitcoms. Yeah, we are dating ourselves.
Fred and Wilma.
There's a ball, 1-2. Well, that would be Fred and Ethel.
Ethel?
Yeah.
Wilma was a Flintstone.
Yeah. Yeah, those were in color. Those weren't in black and white. Valverde warming up.
And that would be Barney and Betty.
That's right. Pebbles and Bam Bam. The 1-2 pitch. Did he go? Yes, he went around. Cope for the 1-2-3 inning. 2 strikeouts. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 4-0 Detroit. Baird is leading right now with 45% of the vote. Max Scherzer is second with 26% of the vote. Then Austin Jackson, you can still vote. And we'll have the final results for you post-game during Tigers Live. But right now, G Money is in the lead.
Fans got it right tonight. And G Money's played long ball here, 2-run home run. And back in the second inning, and he's caught a shutout.
Good night for the Tigers so far. They lead 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. And a new pitcher on now for Texas. That would be Doug Mathis.
And we saw him last night as well. Pitching in his 12th game is Mathis. Earned run average over 6.5. 10 strikeouts, 10 walks in 20 in the third innings. And the opponents hitting him at a .358 clip.
So the Tigers trying to add to this 4-0 lead, have Carlos Guillen leading it off.
You look tight tonight here in downtown Detroit. It's perfect weather.
Spectacular. It was 87 at game time.
Doesn't feel like it.
No, not quite as humid.
A little breeze.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. '83 right now. Very comfortable. Here's the 2-0. Carlos tonight with a walk, a single, and a run scored. Just the type of effort the Tigers needed tonight, trying to snap a 7-game losing streak. Scherzer was outstanding. They scored 4 runs on Lewis. 3 more big outs to get, though. The 2-1 to the shortstop, Andrews. 1 up, 1 away.
The Rangers thought so highly of Andrews before last season is that they called Michael Young, who had won a Gold Glove in 2008 at the shortstop position, and asked him, would you be willing to move to third? Young was a little reluctant in doing so initially, but obviously gave his blessing, and you can see why Texas wanted the youngster Elvis to be their shortstop. But it's not often that you get asked to move after you've won a Gold Glove.
Yeah, All-Star, Gold Glove winner. So you can tell why Young might have been a little bit reluctant to do it.
He was not happy. He balked at it initially. I think John Daniels and Ron Washington even went to his home to ask him to move. Very professional word, John Daniels and Ron Washington.
Well, it's made him a better team.
No doubt.
In the end, that's all that matters. Kelly, the batter, 0 for 3. In the air to center field, right at Hamilton. Hit that ball hard, but nothing to show for it. Now Gerald Laird. Texas will have Kinsler, Guerrero, and Hamilton in the 9th inning. Meanwhile, later tonight, Chicago is playing in Seattle. King Felix going for Seattle. That's a good thing.
Maybe he can slow down that White Sox team. Someone's got to slow him down.
Be nice. Laird, a 2-run homer that gave the Tigers a 2-0 lead. That was back in the second. You see the standings right now. Minnesota, a winner earlier today. They beat Cleveland. Back up the middle into center field. So Laird has his second hit of the night. Strengthening his McDonald's player of the game voting.
Right back up the box.
It's 10 Tigers hits tonight. Santiago. He got that thing started back in the 7th. Tigers had a 2-0 lead, and they would go on to score 2 more big runs in that 7th inning. Little breathing room. And Santiago started it with a base hit. He's safely down his last 4. Mathis out of Maryvale, Arizona. 27 years of age. There's a strike. Is it Maryvale where the Brewers train?
Yes.
Living in Phoenix in the offseason. Born in Maryvale. They chase Gerald back. Played his college ball at Missouri, University of Missouri. Look out, back into the seats in a hurry. 2-2 on Santiago. If the Tigers can hold on to this one, it would be their 49th victory of the year. Got a Philly fan in the ballpark tonight. That little dude came away with the ball, though. Mathis went to Missouri. So did tonight's starter for the Tigers, Max Scherzer.
That's what I thought.
Two and 2 on Santiago. Ramon right now batting a solid .271. And he bounces one to second base. Routine for Kinsler. And that is that for Detroit. No runs, a 2-out hit. Ninth inning on tap. 3 outs away from a win. In the series finale.
The Papa Grande's got to go right through the heart of their lineup, but he has been outstanding this year, converting in just about all of his saves. He's only blown one. That was real early in the season. He comes in with a 1.11 earned run average and just dominant with 38 punch outs in 40 2/3 innings.
And he is all ready to go to work. It'll be Ian Kinsler, Vlad Guerrero, Josh Hamilton, 3-4-5 for Texas. Tigers had badly out-hit the Rangers tonight, 10-4. Kinsler 1 for 3, had a single in the 6th inning.
At 139 batting average against Valverde is good for second among American League relievers.
And Valverde ready to go. Kinsler with his single in the 6th has a 14-game streak, and he's almost hit by the pitch. That thing came up and in. Buzzed his tower. Two 2-0 on Kinsler. Phil Koch pitched a perfect 8th inning, 1-2-3. In fact, he struck out a couple.
What new?
Continues to just pitch solid baseball out of the Tigers bullpen late in games. 2-0 pitch. Way inside again. And I was watching Valverde warming up.
Yeah.
And he was having trouble throwing strikes warming up. He just seemed off a little bit, and he's gone 3-0 now and missed badly on 2 of them.
I don't know exactly what he will throw on this next pitch as we get a look at another pitch by Valverde at Lincoln Mercury Exmo. Yeah, but usually Valverde will throw his split-fingered fastball in these counts where he can't find the control with his fastball.
Way inside again, and Kinsler spins out of the way. Ball 4.
Seems like the last couple of times that Valverde has gone out there, he's had a little difficult time maneuvering his way through the opposition. First half of the season, he was an all-star. He was tremendous. But last couple of times, he's thrown quite a few pitches in the inning that he pitched. And as a matter of fact, he gave up a run in his outing in Cleveland. Something wrong with his hand or something?
Rick Knapp is out there to ask that very question. Kinsler thought he had a target on his back.
Here's what I'm talking about. No win-loss record, but you can see the earned run average at 5.40 in the 2 games that he's pitched after the break.
So here is Guerrero. The 2 extra runs the Tigers got in the 7th inning coming in handy right about now.
You can't be wild enough to walk Vladdy.
Oh, look out. He hit him, and Guerrero goes down.
Well, Vladdy, what's wrong with Valverde?
I'm telling you, I was watching him warming up, and everything was missing badly. He just seemed way out of whack.
Well, you don't want to give this Texas Rangers team an opening. Not with the lethal bats they have.
I know Hamilton's a great hitter, but he can't be feeling all that comfortable right now after watching Kinsler and Guerrero.
Well, the only thing that he has going in his favor is most of the fastballs that he has thrown have gone in that direction, up and into the right-hander, so that would be up and away to the left-hander. So
true,
Hamilton might feel a little bit better about that. Right off the shoulder blade.
Ball 1.
Boy, a double play ball would be nice right here. Just nice.
0 for 3 for Hamilton.
Because this crowd has gotten quiet, a little uneasy.
Two and 0. And at least up until this point, Valverde just can't find the feel for it. Tigers have some action going in their bullpen.
I don't think we've seen anybody get up in that Tigers bullpen all year when Valverde's been in the game.
There's a strike call.
But this game cannot be lost.
Ryan Perry is the man warming up. May have helped him out there. That pitch was up at the letters. 2-2. Way inside. It'll get all the way to the backstop, and the runners will move up. Wild pitch. So move Kinsler to third, Vladimir Guerrero to second base, and now it's 3-2 on Hamilton. Jim Leland getting awfully uneasy right now in that dugout. You're absolutely right. Tigers cannot lose this game. Up 4-0. Ground ball to short. This will get a run in, and Hamilton is out. One gone. The Tigers gladly has changed the out for the run there. 4-1 ball game. Hamilton gets his 70th RBI. Guerrero to third base. Here is Cruz. Nelson 1 for 3 with a single.
I know this crowd's a little uneasy, but they've got to get up and help Vladdy out a little bit here. Valverde, excuse me.
Agreed. Here's the 1-0. Crowd tonight of better than 28,000. 28,704.
It's a nice crowd for a Wednesday night.
Day baseball here tomorrow with the Jays in town. The 1-1 way inside, almost hitting.
For whatever reason, his fastball today and the arm slot that he's delivering that pitch from is one that's continuing to have that ball go up and into the right-handed batters.
Two and one on Cruz. Strike called on the outer edge, 2-2. Rangers, in getting that run, avoid the shutout. They've been shut out only one time this year. That was on May 15th against Toronto.
Nice adjustment made with the arm slot, and that allowed him to get that ball on the outer edges of home plate to get that strike call for strike 2.
The Rangers, the only team in the major leagues that have been shut out just once this year. Swing and a miss, and Cruz helped him out. Two gone. Now the crowd to its feet. David Murphy with 2 away. Here's the 1-0 to Murphy. Leadoff walk, a hit batter, a wild pitch. But a ground out to score a run and a strikeout. 2 gone. Here's the 1-1. Nice block there by Laird, saving a run.
And G-Money has had a really good night tonight. Homer, single, thrown out a runner at second base, and he's caught a really nice game. Real nice night for Gerald Laird.
See if Valverde can put the finishing touches on it. Ground ball to the right side. Should do it. Guillen. And the Tigers win, and the 7-game losing streak has come to an end. A little bit rocky for Valverde, but he gets it done. They can smile right now as the Tigers beat the Rangers to avoid the sweep. Win the series finale by a score of 4-1. A whole lot more coming up. We'll be back from Comerica Park. 4-1 Tigers win it tonight.